We are started.
All right, my name is Mike Harriman.
My name is Errol Leon.
Adi Singhani.
And this is our EE541 FMCW Radar demonstration for winter quarter 2015. So here's our radar setup. We'll just kind of go through the components real quick. We have a VCO driven by a function generator with a triangle wave. That's a it's 20 milliseconds ramp time. That is going into this PA here, the Galley 84 Plus, which is put through this Wilkinson splitter. One half goes to this TX horn antenna. These horn antennas are about 14 dB gain, center at 2.4 gigahertz, the VISWAR of under 2 for about 500, 600 megahertz. Then the other side of this Wilkinson splitter here that Errol designed comes into the mixer. The RF signal comes into the receive antenna through this amplifier, goes into the mixer, and comes out the IF port, and that comes through into this circuit. The Arduino isn't doing anything, but that is amplified and low-pass filtered, and then ran into this mic, and then the sync pulse is here is using the mic to go into the computer, which records it through Audacity, and then is processed. How do you can talk about that?
So the iMic allows you to record the audio file through Audacity, and then in Audacity we get both channels, and so from Audacity we can generate a WAV file, and so once we do that we move to Python and we use the Pythonized code generated by Raytheon, which we had to modify to fit our values, and there were a couple of things that we had to modify in order to get what we wanted to see as well. So after we made those modifications, we were able to see the data in the images, and we were able to generate all three images, and they met what we expected.
What's the frequency range that we're going out?
So the frequency range that we have is 2 gigahertz to 2232.5 megahertz.
Okay.
Kind of a lot
So
of
2
digits there. Yeah,
2200.
Yeah. So about 2 to 2.23 gigahertz.
Yeah, we designed another circuit to run the VCO, but we just did it in the last 2 days, and it does sweep it at a higher frequency range, 2.4 to 2.5 gig or so, but we had a problem syncing it up with this dual channel. All right, so now I think we're going to run a demo. So I think Errol and I will just run out here and back while recording it, and then we'll look at the file. So let's see. This is
Also, we have a minimum pulse length of 20 milliseconds.
all right, so you want to start like right here? I'll start out here, and then we'll just
Cross over.
All right, let us know when you're ready.
Go. All right.
See our skills as future Olympic athletes.
So this is what we generate in Audacity, and so we have to swap the stereo channels in order to match up with the code. So another thing we had to do was we had to invert the trigger, because we had a different trigger from what was used by Raytheon. So that's the basically we multiplied it by -1, and since it was already multiplied by -1 in the code, we just made it regular 1. And so from Audacity, what we do is we export the file. So we go to export audio, and we'll just call this test demo, and we'll put the date in there. So once we set that, we have to go down and we have to type the file name that we just created. So that was test demo 031915, and then hit run. And from there, these are So this is the graph that we generated. So you can clearly see both people. You have one person going away, starting near the radar and going away, and you have another person coming into the radar. So this is a graph of time versus range, and this is the maximum filtered one. So one thing that we had to actually change from the Raytheon code was that the y-axis values were actually inverted, and so it seemed like Raytheon had made an attempt to invert it, but it ended up mirroring the whole graph, so that negated the effects of the inversion. So due to that, we had to actually change the parameters for the time, and then that's how it was able to give us what we expected. So
Yep.
that's our demo.
Yeah, and it's about range out to 20 meters or so.
Right.
So
So
we saw maximum.
yeah, so we got up to around 20 meters of maximum range based on several tests.
And we also have another teammate, Brad Hutchinson, who is sick and unable to be here. So I think
Right.
that's it, unless you have any questions, Dr. Harrison.